Hi, I'm Jonas Steinberg, and I'm your instructor for this course, and I want to welcome you all to Cultural Anthropology Online. So, in this course, I want to teach you, or rather help you teach yourself, something big. And that big thing is how to recognize around you the shapes of culture, and how to recognize in those shapes things that seem absolutely natural, but are actually a particular way of seeing things. And to talk to you about how the particular way of seeing things is different for people everywhere, even though all of them think their way is natural. I'm an ethnographer. That means I go out in the world in search of things that are intriguing but not obvious, not to me and not to the people living them. Urgent questions about being human, about other people's experiences, sufferings, joys, and what they make us realize about ours. Now you might ask, why does that matter? It matters because it allows us to see that so much of what we're told is nature and reality, say about gender, marriage, the course of our lives, or morality, is not as true as we think it is. And when we come to understand this, we actually have at our disposal a much wider range of ways of thinking about things than we thought we did. We can look with a new eye at the reasons we believe what we believe. Anthropology is most broadly the investigation of human sociocultural behavior. Sociocultural, which is a combination of social and cultural, means all the stuff we do that isn't inherently part of our biology or psychology. So everything from houses to religion, music to birthdays, Facebook to Sundance Film Festival. No other creature does this like us, and none requires it as we do to survive. The anthropologist Clifford Geertz called it humanity's extrasomatic means of adaptation. He meant we cannot live without culture. We couldn't survive in the wild, so it's this extra thing we have, this extra set of structures. Culture is the map of meaning we use to make sense of the world, to explain it, to get by. Society is the relationships between people in which culture is shared and passed on. We tend to look across cultures. Instead of carrying out quantitative surveys, we immerse ourselves in those cultures. That is called ethnography. At every step, I want to work hard to have us ask, so what? So again with this, why does it matter? Because we're humans, and it's essential that we know what other humans do around the world and how and why they do it, to try to figure out why we are the way we are, how we got this way, and what it means to different people to experience their lives. All that is a very big deal. Now I'm going to use this space, these very short talking heads vids, to give us a sense of some face-to-face activity, even though we're in the virtual environment. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time recapping the syllabus and requirements in here, but on this first one I want to make sure to tell you to start out by going through the course online, look at the Getting Started page, review the syllabus, because you should jump into your work right away. In particular, I want you to review the learning objectives so you can see what we're digging into here. You should know by now that you have a textbook to buy, and you should be reading that. Now, our first set of ideas is about culture and meaning. It matches up with an initial learning objective and your first readings in that textbook. As I've started to say, culture is something humans use to make sense of the world, to orient ourselves, to help us navigate and explain complexity in a way that no other animals do. Culture is shared within populations, and all humans participate in the sharing without fail. It is also true that when we see occasional glimpses of the capacity for culture in other animals, which is actually quite rare, we don't see all of them doing it consistently all of the time. We don't see patterned diversity, by which I mean we can expect things to change in different populations. We just don't see it like we do with humans. We share culture in the structures we call society through the medium we call language. And all of those things are a lot more complex. Society has multiple nested categories, from friendships to families, tribes, chiefdoms, nation-states, and many other groupings that you're part of. And language, of course, has its own complexities, and we'll get to that. We also pass things on from generation to generation over time. Children start to learn culture from infancy through language. And we also pass culture on through groups over space within the same moment. So culture gets transmitted and it circulates around the world. I want to end by asking you to mull over one or two core concepts from the first chapter. Those are ethnocentrism and relativism. Ethnocentrism is thinking that other cultures must or should do things our way, and that our way is the natural one. We all have these expectations even when we think we don't. We have ideas of what is male and what is female, what is right for kids to do, what are good values, what a family is, what it means to grow up. Others might not agree, or they might disagree radically. The other core concept is relativism. This is the notion that we need to look at other cultures on their own terms and listen to what they say about what's important, even when it feels weird to us. And we'll see some extreme examples of this, people who do things that are way, way different from the way we do it. And some of the ways that they do it really surprises us. And this leads to a great question the book asks. Is it possible to see the world through the eyes of others? If yes, which others? Or all others, yes or no? If no, why not? I will leave you to think about this in the next days, and I look forward to hearing your ideas. Welcome to the course.